As we age, the body rarely breaks down all at once. It usually whispers first. Small changes appear. They seem harmless, easy to dismiss. A little less appetite, more tired days, less interest in conversation. Many people assume this is normal aging. Often, they move on without a second thought. But these subtle shifts can signal something deeper. Not danger today, but quiet damage building over time. The body is incredibly adaptive. When energy becomes limited, it starts making choices. It protects what feels essential, and slowly reduces support elsewhere. You may notice strength fading faster than expected. Recovery takes longer. Daily tasks feel heavier. This isn't about fear. And it isn't about diagnosis. It's about awareness. Because what we notice early, we can respond to calmly. Families often say the same thing later. We didn't realize it meant something. It seemed so small at the time. That's why these signs matter. Not because they are dramatic, but because they are easy to miss. In this video, we'll look at 7 body warning signs. They appear quietly in many older adults, and they're often mistaken for just getting older. This information is educational only. It does not replace medical advice. If concerns persist, professional guidance matters. For now, take a breath. Listen closely. Your body may already be speaking. Let's begin with the first sign. One that often appears before anything else changes. Sign 1. Unexplained weight loss. Weight loss is often praised, especially earlier in life. But in older adults, weight loss without effort deserves attention. This is not about dieting, and not about exercise changes. The scale drops quietly. Clothes feel looser. Belts need tighter holes. At first, it feels convenient, sometimes even welcomed. But the body may be sending a different message. Unplanned weight loss can mean the body is conserving energy. It starts letting go of reserves. Appetite often changes first. Meals feel less appealing. Taste becomes dull or unfamiliar. Some people feel full after a few bites. Others forget to eat altogether. This isn't stubbornness. And it isn't a lack of discipline. It's often the body simplifying its needs, using less fuel, reducing effort. Over time, this quiet shift weakens strength. Muscle mass fades. Balance becomes less reliable. Falls become more likely. Recovery takes longer. Families often notice late. They see old photos, then compare them to today. I didn't realize how much changed, they say. It happened so slowly. That slowness is the problem. Because slow change rarely triggers alarm. It blends into routine. Some older adults also drink less. Not from choice, but from reduced thirst signals. This adds strain to the system. Energy drops further. Focus becomes harder. None of this means something sudden is happening. But it does mean resilience may be shrinking. This sign is easy to overlook, and easy to explain away. But when weight loss appears without reason, it's worth noticing. Not fearing. Just observing. This video is educational only. It does not offer diagnosis or treatment. If weight continues to drop, professional guidance matters. For now, awareness is the first step. Because the body rarely shouts. It usually whispers first. And this whisper often comes before others. In the next sign, we'll look at what happens when energy levels begin to fade, even after rest. Sign 2. Persistent and extreme fatigue. This is not ordinary tiredness. And it's not fixed by sleep. Persistent fatigue feels deeper, heavier. unrelenting. A full night's rest no longer helps. Neither does a quiet afternoon nap. Energy doesn't return. It continues to fade. Simple actions begin to feel overwhelming. Standing up takes effort. Walking across the room feels demanding. Holding a conversation can be exhausting. Even sitting upright may feel like hard work. This level of fatigue often appears quietly. It grows slowly, day by day. The body may be struggling to distribute energy efficiently. Not enough reaches muscles or the brain. When energy becomes limited, the body starts prioritizing. It protects what feels essential. Everything else receives less support. Movement slows. Alertness weakens. Engagement becomes difficult. Many people begin sleeping longer during the day. Hours pass unnoticed. Waking moments become brief. Nighttime sleep may feel broken, restless, uneven. The body's rhythm shifts. Energy and rest no longer follow familiar patterns. To family members, this can look like withdrawal, like disinterest, or giving up. But often, it's not emotional withdrawal. It's physical conservation. The body is quietly protecting itself, using strength carefully, spending only what it must. Persistent fatigue can also affect the mind. Thinking slows. Responses take longer. Focus becomes harder to maintain. Words trail off mid-sentence. Silence feels easier than conversation. This isn't indifference. And it isn't stubbornness. Staying awake and aware may already require significant effort. Families sometimes recall this stage later. They say, "They were always tired. We didn't realize it mattered." That's why noticing matters. Not to panic, but to observe. This content is educational only. It does not provide medical advice. If exhaustion continues or worsens, professional guidance is important. Before we continue, take a moment. If this feels familiar, you're not alone. Please comment number 2 below. It helps others feel less isolated. And if you find this video helpful, consider subscribing. Turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Your support allows this channel to keep sharing calm, respectful guidance. Now, let's continue. Because when fatigue deepens, another quiet change often follows. In the next sign, we'll explore how breathing patterns can subtly shift, often without anyone noticing at first. Sign 3. Noticeable changes in breathing. Breathing usually happens without thought, until it begins to change. One of the more visible shifts is altered breathing patterns. They often appear quietly, then become easier to notice. Sometimes breath feels short, even while sitting still. Finishing a sentence may require pauses. Words arrive in pieces. At other times, breathing rhythm changes. Shallow breaths alternate with deeper ones. There may be longer gaps between breaths. Silence fills the space. For family members, this can be unsettling. It draws attention immediately. The body may also produce soft throat sounds. Not painful, but unfamiliar. These changes happen as breathing muscles weaken. Clearing airways becomes harder. The lungs may not exchange air as efficiently. Balance shifts gradually. Oxygen delivery can decrease. Carbon levels may rise. The body works harder to maintain stability. Energy use increases. For the person experiencing this, the chest may feel heavy. Air never feels quite enough. There can be a sense of effort with every breath, even at rest. This doesn't always mean distress, but it does mean change. Hands and feet may feel cooler, sometimes noticeably so. Lips or fingertips can appear slightly bluish. Color fades at the edges. This happens because circulation prioritizes vital organs. The body is choosing carefully. Extremities receive less blood flow. Core systems receive more support. These shifts can look frightening, but they are not always uncomfortable. Pain is not guaranteed. Fear often comes from uncertainty. What matters most in these moments is comfort and calm. A supported position can help. Gentle reassurance matters. Soft lighting. Quiet surroundings. A steady voice nearby. A hand held without pressure. Recognition matters here. Not to label. Not to predict. But to respond with care. When breathing changes, people often sense vulnerability. They become more aware of surroundings. Presence can be grounding. Silence can be soothing. This content is educational only. It does not replace medical advice. If breathing changes persist or cause concern, professional guidance is important. Noticing these signs allows for compassion, for patience, for dignity, because as the body adjusts its rhythm, another quiet shift often follows. In the next sign, we'll explore how social connection and interest can slowly fade, often misunderstood as emotional withdrawal. Sign 4. Withdrawal from social interaction. This change is often misunderstood and deeply emotional for families. Someone who once enjoyed conversation may grow quiet. Words become fewer. Silence feels easier. Visits that once brought comfort now feel tiring. Short interactions replace long talks. Family gatherings may be avoided, not from dislike, but from exhaustion. The person may choose to stay in their room or sit alone for long periods. This can feel personal to loved ones. Questions arise quickly. Did I say something wrong? Did they stop caring? But this withdrawal is rarely about others. It's about energy. The body and mind begin conserving strength. Every interaction requires effort. Speaking, listening, responding. All of it costs more than before. As energy becomes limited, priorities shift. Stillness replaces stimulation. Many people sleep more during the day, or sit quietly, watching without reacting. Responses become slower, sometimes absent. Hobbies once enjoyed may no longer hold interest. Reading feels demanding. Television feels loud. Even music can feel overwhelming. Too much input. Too many signals. Instead, there is a gentle turning inward. A narrowing of focus. It can feel like detachment, but it's often preparation. Not a decision. A transition. For those watching, this stage can be painful. It feels like losing connection early. A quiet grief begins, even while the person is still present. But it's important to understand this clearly. This is not rejection. It's the body choosing peace over engagement, rest over activity. In these moments, presence matters more than conversation. Sitting together can be enough. A hand held gently. A calm presence nearby. No pressure to talk. No need to entertain. Comfort comes from safety, from familiarity. This video is educational only. It does not offer medical advice. If withdrawal deepens or causes concern, professional guidance is important. Before we continue, pause for a moment. If this feels familiar, you're not alone. Please comment number 4 below. It helps others feel seen. And if this content supports you, consider subscribing. Turn on notifications for future videos. Your support helps keep this space calm and informative. Now, let's continue. Because when social connection fades, Another quiet change often follows. In the next sign, we'll explore how appetite and thirst can slowly diminish, often misunderstood, yet deeply significant. Sign 5. Significant decline in appetite and thirst. Eating and drinking usually follow routine until they slowly fade. One of the clearest shifts is reduced hunger and reduced thirst. Meals that once felt familiar become difficult. A few bites feel like enough. Food may be pushed away gently, not in refusal, but in response. Drinks may be sipped less often, sometimes refused altogether. This is rarely stubbornness, and rarely intentional. The body simply stops asking. Signals grow quieter. Digestion begins to slow. The need for fuel decreases. Calories matter less than comfort. Quantity matters less than ease. This can feel distressing for families, especially for those who show care through food. Favorite dishes are offered. Encouragement is repeated, yet resistance grows. Confusion follows. Why won't they eat? Are they giving up? But this change is not neglect, and not defiance. It's the body simplifying its work, letting go of non-essential tasks. Swallowing can become uncomfortable. The mouth may feel dry. Rather than full meals, small comforts help more. Tiny portions. Soft textures. Ice chips can be soothing. Moistening lips brings relief. Gentle care replaces nourishment goals. The focus quietly shifts. For many families, guilt appears here. A heavy one. They worry they are not doing enough. That love is somehow missing. But forcing food can cause discomfort, sometimes strain. Understanding this stage can bring relief. For everyone involved, it allows attention to move elsewhere, to presence. Sitting nearby matters. Quiet conversation matters. Even silence matters. Time shared becomes the nourishment, not what's on the plate. This video is educational only. It does not offer medical advice. If appetite changes raise concern, professional guidance is important. Noticing this shift allows compassion and gentler choices. Because when hunger fades, another physical change often appears next. In the next sign, we'll explore how skin and circulation can quietly change, often seen, but rarely understood. Sign 6. Noticeable changes in skin and circulation. The skin often reflects changes happening deeper inside. Quietly, gradually. You may notice color shifts first. Bluish or purplish patches appear. These changes often show on hands and feet, sometimes knees or elbows. The skin may look blotchy, uneven, different from before. Touch can feel cooler, even when the room feels warm. This happens because circulation is slowing. Blood is redirected inward. Vital organs receive priority. Extremities receive less flow. The body is choosing carefully, protecting what matters most. Over time, the skin becomes thinner, more fragile. Small bumps can leave marks. Bruises appear more easily. Wounds may take longer to heal. Sometimes they barely heal. Daily movement begins to feel delicate. Gentle contact leaves traces. These changes are not cosmetic. They reflect reduced repair and renewal. The body no longer replaces cells efficiently. Resources are limited. Sometimes a marbled pattern appears, almost like soft veins across the skin. This pattern signals deeper conservation. Final reserves are being protected. Family members often find this distressing. The changes are visible, hard to ignore. Seeing the body change can feel confronting. It raises unspoken questions. But these signs are not usually painful. They are part of slowing. What matters most now is comfort and gentleness. Warmth becomes important. Soft blankets help. Warm socks can bring ease. A calm room supports rest. Avoid pressure. Avoid trying to correct what you see. Care shifts from fixing to supporting, from changing to being present. A gentle touch can reassure. So can quiet company. Security matters more than appearance. Feeling safe matters more than answers. This content is educational only. It does not replace medical advice. If skin changes raise concern, professional guidance is important. Before we continue, pause for a moment. If this feels familiar, you're not alone. Please comment number 6 below. It helps others feel less isolated. And if this video has been helpful, consider subscribing. Turn on notifications to stay connected. Your support allows calm, respectful content to continue. Now, let's move forward. Because after the body changes outwardly, another shift often appears inwardly. In the final sign, we'll explore how awareness and responsiveness can quietly fade, often misunderstood, yet deeply meaningful. Sign 7. Withdrawal and decreased awareness. This final change is often the hardest to witness, and the easiest to misunderstand. A person may slowly withdraw from the world around them. Not suddenly, but gently. Conversations feel tiring. Listening replaces speaking. Responses grow shorter. Sometimes delayed. Sometimes absent. This is not rejection, and not emotional distance. It is conservation. The body and mind are using energy carefully. Awareness may begin to shift. Alertness comes and goes. Long periods of sleep become common. Waking moments feel brief. Eyes may open, then close again. Attention drifts. At times, the person may speak softly about the past. Familiar faces. Old memories. Some describe scenes that feel symbolic. Journeys. Reunions. These moments can feel confusing for families, even unsettling. But they are often part of an inward focus. A narrowing of attention. The outside world fades slightly. The inner world becomes stronger. In later stages, recognition may change. Names may not come. A familiar face may not be acknowledged, or greeted differently. This can feel deeply painful. Like connection has been lost. But love has not disappeared. Energy has. The body is simplifying, reducing effort. Speech requires strength. So does recognition. In these moments, presence matters more than words. So does tone. A gentle voice can reassure, even if there is no response. Holding a hand can be grounding. Sitting nearby can be comforting. Silence can be shared, without pressure. This is not the time for explanations or expectations. It is a time for calm, for safety. The body knows how to close its own story. Quietly, carefully. These changes can be painful to witness, but they are not chaotic. They follow a rhythm, a slowing. This content is educational only. It does not replace medical advice. If awareness changes cause concern, professional guidance is important. What matters now is dignity and compassion. Being present often means everything. When we step back and look at all 7 signs together, a clearer picture appears. Not one of fear, but of understanding. Each change reflects adjustment. The body is reallocating strength. Nothing happens at once. Everything happens gradually. These signs are not meant to alarm. They are meant to inform. They give us time. Time to notice. Time to soften expectations. Time to offer comfort. Awareness allows calm responses instead of confusion. It helps families shift focus from fixing to supporting, from doing more to being present. If one sign stood out today, pause with it. Reflect gently. You may recognize it from a loved one or from your own experience. Noticing patterns brings clarity and compassion and often peace. Thank you for spending this time with us. Your presence here matters. If this video helped you understand something more clearly, please share your thoughts below. What stood out to you today? We read every comment. If you found value here, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. We're here to support calm understanding. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.